some helpfulness then in terms of strategies then as well, because you can mix and match the strategy and not lose too much time going through a
Ja,
long
közben én ezt
we'll get on to that then as the race
angol
develops, that
stream
is.
megy, gyerekek.
This
Pisálok még, előkészülünk, aztán megyünk. Ja, várjátok, setupot állítunk. Biztos, ami biztos.
Gina then is going through then to start off
Aztán,
the first flying lap
szóljam.
of the session. That is a bit
Nyomjuk ezerrel. Belenézünk. Jó van. Fasza. Minden fasza. Na jó van. Menjünk el szerintem a mellékhelyiségre. Aztán hadd szóljék. Jó ez. Jó, felvágom. Mi? Jó, felvágom. Jó, tudom. Na jó van. Itt vagyunk. Komoly idők vannak. Nem tudom én mit tudok. Majd mindjárt kimegyünk, azt megnézzük. De jó van. Menjünk ki, azt mondom nektek. Ezt alkossunk valamit. Ez, hogy nyilván, mikor máskor kéne ugatni a kutyának. Na jó van. Mennyi 10 fél? De jó, hogy a kutya ugat, annyira imádom, hogy neki ugatnia kell, mert érne. Hát én gyerekeket, ez valami brutál szarkör volt. Az időmérő is, ez a setup is brutál szar. Nagyon reméljük, hogy a versenyem. Az a baj, Boszki, hogy nem tudom, hogy mit kéne változtatni. Változtassunk valamit, basszus. Nem tudom, mit kéne változtatni, hogy jó legyen a setup. Gyerekek. Itt hagyom nektek az angol kommentátort. Keményeken rajtoljunk? Gyerekek, az nincs ez is. Induljunk közepesen, aztán 2 kiállás. Na várjátok, 39 kör az nagyon sok. Nem merem bazd meg lemenni annyira, mert majd ha majd eltaktikázzak, akkor meg kurva ideges leszek. Jó, mindegy. Ennyit rakunk, ennyit rakunk.
So we'll wait and see then if that's going to play a factor then in the race itself. Then it didn't last night in gold then, but will the weather gods change their mind here tonight? Styles has mushroom disease. Oh dear. That sounds dangerous and very, very bad. Drivers then sorting out the strategy, sorting out the fuel load, sorting out their cups of tea before we get racing.
Na reménykedjünk. Addig hallgassátok az angol kommentátort. Sok siker! Reméljük jól tankoltunk. 0-43. Bazd meg. Aztán lehet, hogy eltaktikáztuk. Nagy tülekedés van. Jó, oké, egyelőre maradunk itt.
We're going. It's 5 red lights on in Canada then. The 5 red lights around and it's away we go then. It's a good start, I think, there for no, what's happened? Sloth's taken the lead. No, he hasn't. There's contact between the Mercedes and the Cadillac. And Lewis one has got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting there.
Geci, hogy megint ez a dodge-emezés megy. Most ez...
As we go through then into turn 3, there's side by side. That's
meg elmegy a TV.
Goodness me. And chaos then in the background.
Most sérült a szárnyunk, geci, faszom Ferrari-sba, bazd meg. Ki ez, te? Nézd meg!
Goodness me then, I think that was because the blue
flags majdnem eltaláltam én is.
I'm not sure what is going on here.
Mi megy itt, te?
Flags being waved for somebody or other then, but I think it's the same as we had yesterday.
Nyomjátok ki.
The delta glitch, the timing glitch rather. Timing tower glitch, sorry, that's what I meant. Sans had an issue then at the exit of the hairpin then. We've also had Kiki and Sloth then going through the hairpin then. Sloth has fallen behind then. No, he hasn't. As San and Farf are battling now. As we head into the final chicane then. Goodness me, that's going to be tight through there then. Oh, there's the pass going for it down the inside. That's Deza and San into the final corner then. Goodness me.
Mit szeretné?
Well, we are underway.
Takarodj már!
That then as we head through into turn 1 then. Kiki and Farf then. Farf has got through then and up into P12 then. I think Kiki's on the hard compound tires then. So that is probably why he is starting to struggle then at this stage of the race as he is then on the harder wall tire then. Deza and Sandin having a big battle then for that final points paying position then. And I think there might be a bit of damage there to a Haas car then potentially on the left hand side. Oh, dearie me, Constantina and up then and Hungry Styles and Devo Croc then making a bit of contact then as they get themselves into the braking zone, but they should be a-OK then. Jay Hines has passed his teammate Ginner then. They've lost out to the top 5 as it stands, and goodness me, British has scampered off as well then on his medium compound tyres. Then we'll have a look at the tyre situation. Justin Jeffrey then, because Smithy and Dynamo down, and there's an Aston Martin. No, it's not an Aston Martin. It's a Racing Bull of Ginner. Ginner's got damage. What's happened? Dynamo Dan's gone off the circuit there, and Ginner's gone through into P7 then, but I think he's missing. He's definitely missing something there on that front end of the car then. Yes, he is then. He's not diving into the pit lane just yet then, but that left end plate is really having a bit of an issue there for the Racing Bull driver. Then he's lost out to his teammate then, and Jay Heath is now trying to motor after his counterpoints then in P5 and above as we go through on to lap 3. Goodness me, then, and now both Hasses are fighting there, and there's a Red Bull, and goodness me, then it's getting close then between the two of them. Then Harvey's had an issue. What's happened to Harvey? Then he's trying to get himself back on. Then there's grass on the tyres there as well. Then he's just lost out to Dynamo Dan. His teammates right behind him there as well. Then there's another problem. Then it's Kiki. What's happened to Kiki? Then and it's a Debo Croc as well. And I think then he's had an issue with Kiki. I think, isn't it? Then as we head through there, then they were all very close in proximity. Then and any slight mistake through there then could have caused a bit of a pile up. Then Favre's got a 3-second penalty, but I did say penalty will be a big factor. Oh, dear me. He's gone for a spin. I better not watch that. He'll be very livid with me when he sees me watching him then spinning around there. Anyway, we're back on the way. As Lewis Riley, then Favre's passed Ayrton, then Favre's on a mission. He's up 7 places as far. He's not got much battery left though in the Ferrari. Ayrton has repassed him there. As Ayrton sneaks back through then into P11, then into the final chicane. Is there rain coming? Then because oh dear, there's Ayrton. That's a wall, and that's the wall of champions. Then Ayrton, of course, is a champion in my eyes. But he has got damage then as well. Then unfortunately, then to the left hand side. Not sure how that would have happened then because he come to the right hand side, didn't he? Kiki's back on the way. Right out in front then, Prudish leads away then 1.7 seconds. Then he's going to scamper off then as well. Then in this first part of the race, I would imagine. Then let's have a look at the tyres because the top 5 are on medium compounds here. Jay Hings is catching up then as well. Then we've had Harvey drop out of that top 5 battle, unfortunately, then with that spin. But he is back on the way. Then he's now challenging then with Dynamo Dan and Smithy. Then Ayrton is back past Favre as we head through then into sector 2. But Favre then is going to be thinking about making that move back, that I am sure is fuel light flashing already then for the Ferrari driver then. And if it gets a dearie me, what's going on here then? There's a Mercedes, there's an Aston Martin, there's all sorts going off there. Smithy's in neutral then as well. Then Debo Croc has passed Sam then for, I think it's raining. Is it raining? I think there might be some issues out there that are on the track then with the weather there. Let's just say that then as well. Then I think it's raining. Smithy Almighty then is really struggling then, and oh dearie me then, and Deza is almost gone into the back then of Smithy. No, Real Fig, sorry. Favre is back past Ayrton as these two carrying on their massive fight that they've had from the get-go in this race. Deza then and Smithy Almighty as well then in the mix then. I'm not sure what happened to Smithy then, but he's lost out then. He's down into P15 as it stands then as well. Then here comes San. For a wing change, then he's on to a new set of boots as well. Then, but that front wing is not. That's a glitch to say the least. Then as well. Then. But as we crack on then into lap 5, then Lewis Riley and Kamara racing then as these two now fighting for P2 then on track then and very deep and into the hairpin then, not harvesting the battery enough there through there is my complaint. But there we are then. Vessia then in P4 as well then is in the mix then. Jay Hings has got himself into a bit of a comfort zone as Lewis Riley has repassed Kamara racing for P2 here then. As we go into the final chicane then and up into P2 goes the championship leader. The penalty there is going to be costly for him though, unfortunately. Smithy and Deza are fighting down the main straight. Smithy's back through into P14. Next target is Real Fig. Into the pits comes Sloth then. There's an early stop there for Sloth then. Is everything all right down at Red Bull? Though there's wings issues there for Sloth, unfortunately. But, well, he's going to crack on then. New set of boots, hard compound tyres going on, and he'll come out ahead of his teammate and Kiki as well then, who are now in a bit of a fight then as it stands. Lewis Riley then has got himself up into P2 then, but he's now almost 3 seconds behind Prudish then, who is motoring out there and looking good indeed then for Mercedes as it stands, but I probably cursed him then as well. I think it will rain with all the hards then as Kiki's got a penalty as well in 3 seconds there. Like I said, penalties will be very easy to rack up around here then, and we will expect it in the we'll expect them coming in then throughout the race very quickly indeed, especially towards the end of the race. Harvey then has recovered up into P7 now as well then. Jinnah then is trying to keep tabs with his teammate then as Riyadh has passed Ballot then, or has he? No, down the inside then, and he's through is the Ferrari, sorry. But Ballot then is going to try and fight back then as we go through then onto the back straight then. Vessia has passed Kamara Racer as well. Then Kamara then has had an issue somewhere because he's almost lost out to the 1 second gap then to the podium places as it stands there. Goodness me then, Farf is now chasing after Dynamo Dan as well. Then Farf is on a mission tonight. Smithy Almighty's on a mission as well. Then there's a problem, there's a yellow flag. Then what's that? Then it's Kiki. Then there's that a spin. Then going through the chicane. Then in sector 2. Then I won't look too much then because it will scare him. But I have skipped away. Never mind then. Smithy Almighty is front past real fit as his next target then. Steve Nancy says, evening all then. Good evening to yourself, sir, as well. Then Smithy is all over the back now of the Audi driver. He's dispatched then of Desert then as well. Then Sam's got a penalty then. Again, penalties rolling in throughout the night then. So stay tuned for the penalty situation towards the end of this race. But there we go then. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do a drive of the day poll. I think as Sloth's now got a penalty as well then. Goodness me then, as they're all picking him up then. We're only on lap 7, boys. But there we are then, as Smithy Almighty then next to try his luck then and get past for P2. Oh, goodness me then. And Styles and Ballot then as well then coming together then through there then into the hairpin we go now then. And Styles is up into the points paying positions now on the hard compound tyre. Good stuff indeed. Right then, back on the way then into the pits comes Ginner then. So Ginner has Dynamo Dan's got a 3-second penalty then at the final chicane. Then Ginner has called it a day then. 7 laps on the hard compound. And a front wing change there for Ginner then. So that front wing then was not helping. Well, not helping him, but it was hindering him too much. Then he had to decide to abandon the strategy then and get himself into the box then and sort that out there. As we head through now then as well. Then I think Jezza has got back past Styles as well there. As Riyadh has got a penalty then as well going through. Oh my goodness me! It's now a three-wide battle. Then here comes Smithy down the inside, and Real Thing's going to say no to that then. But I think on the exit then round the outside, then Smithy has got it done this time, I should say. Hungry Styles and Deza have sorted themselves out, or have they? Because once again, then they're having their fight then as we head into the next chicane. And D'Lo Croc is called up to this fight as well then. Real Fig has been dispatched by Smithy and Riyadh for the time being, that is, but he might be looking to fight back then into the hairpin. Riyadh almost pushing the Mercedes through the corner there. And the same thing he said then as Styles and Deza, and now D'Lo Croc has joined the fight. Then Farf has passed Dynamo Dan for P8 then. Dynamo Dan, oh dearie me, there's a wall for Farf then. And I think, oh goodness me, he's not going to be very happy with that then, I don't think. And I think there's damage to that right-hand side of the Ferrari then as well. But I think, well, he went for the move then, but the overspeed was the problem there as well. Then Ayrton's also driving with, I think, 2 end plates that have got damaged then. And he might be having to think about a pit stop in the near future as well then. Farf's got a 3-second bounce and it's going to be very difficult through here then with damaged front wing then, but he's holding on then with Dynamo Dan. Smithy Almighty then, his next target is to try and catch up to Ayrton and get himself into the top 10 here as well then, with Riyadh and Real Fig bringing themselves along then as Styles. Oh God, D'Lo Croc's nearly motored into the back of them there. Oh, and then Styles has pushed Deza around. Dearie me. Well, that's great. Helping hand and all that. As we go through now then, but I'm not sure if there's damage then. I think there might be damage, unfortunately, for Deza then as well then, but hopefully we get himself back on the way and keep going then as well then as he's let Sloth go through. But yeah, there's severe damage down to the front of that car, and Kamara Race has got a problem as well. Then he's got a penalty to his name there, and Styles then is going to be under pressure now from D'Lo Croc. Then as we head down the back straight, then there's a racing bull then of Ginner then who's on his fresh medium compound tyres now, and trying to recover in this race as we head through into the final corner. Then I think it's going to be status quo. Right then, out in front then, Kamara Racer is starting to struggle on these medium compound tyres. Then will there be a pit stop then in the making for a few on the medium tyres as well very soon, as D'Lo Croc has got past and up into P14. But Styles, I think, has got damage now. And that front wing then, as Ginner is going to try and go for it here as well, then down the inside at turn 3, and he has snuck through just about there as well then, as Deza's in the pit lane. There is damage then for the Haas, unfortunately, then wing damage, and a new front wing going on the car then for the Haas driver. Then both Haas drivers, both Red Bull drivers, not having a good time with it as it stands. But of course, there is still 25 laps of racing action as Farf is racing, and he has raced up to P8 then, and to be fair, let's have a look at position changes. Favre's up 10 places then, goodness me. That's pretty good stuff indeed from Favre then, despite not having any battery impact then as well. But nonetheless, we'll skip over that then as we head into the final corner then. Are we going to see some pit stop action then? No, not for Favre that is, but Dynamo Dan is going to come into the pit lane for Aston Martin. He's calling it a day after 10 laps on the medium
Tudom, hogy de idén termelik az üzeményeket, nem csökken. Gazdagtam kicsit.
V2 says Mushroom, then Marco saying the penalties go around here. Then it's a front wing change for Dynamo Dan, and there's all sorts of front wing changes going on here. And unfortunately, as Styles is the next to be in for the pits then for a front wing change. That needs a front wing change. That is Sloth then, who is pit for the hard compound tyres 5 laps ago then. He's into the points paying positions now then, but we're going to have to say that front wing looks a bit illegal, doesn't it? As Styles then come out of the pit lane will be P18 behind Sam then, but now on a fresh set of compound tyres to motor along to the finish. Vessia is trying to challenge Lewis Riley for P2. They are closing the gap now on Prudish. Under 2 seconds now, the gap then between these two and the top driver then of Prudish in. Obviously, that was Lewis having a bit of a skate through the final chicane. And now here comes Vessia on the attack. Then can he go for it into turn 1? No, he's too far back then. But Harvey's on the hard compound tyres, and he's going to think about a move down the inside. He's thought about it, but not quite then. And there's still a driver out there with wing damage, and that is the McLaren driver. And then he's putting the pressure on Jay Higgs, but Jay Higgs, where is he going then? He's all over, but he's held on. He's held on for now. Harvey then and reflection on the hard compound tyres. Both McLarens pushing them through the corner there. Smithy Almighty has got past Ayrton into turn 3 as well. Then I think Ayrton is also struggling with wing damage. Riyadh then is next to try his luck as Ginner's picked up a penalty. Then Ginner is pushing hard to try and get his race back on track here. Then, but unfortunately that has cost him a second time penalty. Riyadh has gone through to P10 now as well. Then Harvey then is still stuck behind Jay Higgs, who's doing the Minister of Defence job then as well. Now of sector 3 then, but I think both McLarens then this time punch it out of the hairpin and go then, close enough. Lewis is in the pits then, calling it a day now on his medium compound tyres, and Harvey is not close enough. Then Jay Higgs is in. Jay Higgs gets the car slowed down. I thought he was going a bit too fast, but thankfully got it slowed down in time. 13 laps then have been completed. Then hard compounds going on for Lewis Riley. Then he will be out behind Favre, I think, then, but ahead of the next Ferrari. Then Smithy Almighty then has dropped down to P9 because he's been passed by Riyadh, who's on the hard compound tyres. Then Jay Hings, sorry, well, dearie me, Jay Hings going to be squirrely on the exit. Then he's going to be out ahead of Evo Croc, I think. On the fresh mediums, then P13, then Sloth, then P15. Dynamo Dan is P16. Then again, Sloth and Dynamo Dan have had a bit of an issue with their front wings, or their front noses at least. As we go through here then on to lap 13 now. Looked like Balance was already spinning then as well. Then 10 seconds for Lewis going to hurt then as well. Then he's dropped out of the contention for now. Then Smithy is back past Riyadh into sector 2. Lewis has dropped down then into it was P7. Oh my God, what has gone on there then between Favre and Lewis? And he's going to have to try and rejoin here. And he has rejoined then behind the trio there as well. Then what's gone on there then? Unfortunately for Lewis, it's put him back into the traffic. That's cost him an incident as well. Then Favre's got another 3 second penalty. That's punishment. Vessia then onto Hards. Then Kamara Racer onto Hards as well. Then Smithy Almighty's in the pit lane. Then there's all sorts of pit stop activity. Then the pits as well. Has he got damage? He has got damage. I don't know where though. Has Riyadh then Kamara Racer then back up into P7 now, and Lewis Riley then is going to be next to try his luck and try and get back past Favre again. But we'll see how that goes. Smithy then coming out in P13, Ayrton in P14, and I think both of them have had a front wing change. And I think everybody who's stopped at this rate has had a front wing change. Riyadh is going to be P15, Debo Crop P16 as it stands as well then. I think, yeah, literally, I think everybody who has made a pit stop then, apart from maybe Lewis, but he did have a 10-second stop and go penalty there, didn't he? But so I think it's
Jó, nyomjuk neki, ami csövön kifér. Aztán majd
change in the pit stop then.
lesz,
But
ami
we'll wait and see that if
nyilván nem
British
ilyen
coming in,
safety
he is
car,
coming in
nagyon
now, then the
szar
race lead,
helyzetben
then is
vagyunk.
he going to be able to come back out in the race lead? Well, maybe not the race lead because Harvey, I think, is going to try. No, Harvey's coming in. Harvey's coming in. Reflection's going to take the race lead then. So Reflection on the hard compound tyres has done a good job then in this first stint. Then Vessia is going to be close, I think. Then on the exit then of the pit lane, there is Prudish. Then there is Vessia. He's got the undercut. Then where is Mercedes as they come out of the pit lane here? It's going to be. He's behind Vessia now. For now, as far as people. But he's now got, once again, then he's got Riley then right behind him. And Kamara Racing is going to be soon to close in as well. Then as, are we going to switch down at Racing Bulls then? Yes, Jay Higgs is through and up into P7 as well. Then we've had Smithy Almighty. No, we've had Real Fig into the pit then for hard compound tyres coming out in P14. Riyadh then is P15 now then with
Ez jó szakör volt, igen, ott az a végén, az a megcsúszás, ez sokba került.
Has got Sam for company as well. Then both classes still going in this race. They're good stuff indeed.
De basz már most csúszkálunk megint.
Then as Lewis Riley then has got past Farf then into the hairpin here.
Ilyen megeszi a pályán, gumit baszki.
This time the move is done now, isn't it, then, as well, then. So I think Lewis then is going to be happy about that. Then he's scampered off. Then he's got 4 seconds to find, though, on Prudish and Vessia. Then, of course, those two then did not have to serve any penalties in the pit stops there. Prudish...
Na jó, tudjátok, mi fog következni? Kipróbálom talán.
As, like I was saying, Lewis has
Úgyis mindent lehet. Kipróbáljuk.
He's only 4 seconds behind, so he's not done a bad job there of minimizing the
Ilyen
time
köröket
loss as well
tudunk.
then, even with that stop penalty. But unfortunately, it's going to be costly indeed. I think then potentially if there's no safety cars or VSCs, then he could get himself that penalty removed. Then it could be reviewed. Reflection leads the way by 3 seconds, but he's on very old tyres now. The started to emerge as Sloth is under pressure. Sloth is under pressure from Smithy. Oh my goodness me! And Smithy has got through. Oh goodness me! How did he get through there? But well played indeed. I think Sloth, maybe that nose is missing, and that's cost him a position there as well. Then he's got a penalty as well. Then unfortunately, as I've sorry about that, Sloth. But there we go then. As we crack on, then penalties are rolling in. Then so keeping it clean then is the paramount position then in the race as well. Then Jay Hings is going to try and challenge then for P6. Then Farf might be thinking about a pit stop in the near future, as will Reflection. Potentially Sloth as well then, but he's not going to have to just again, I don't think then. Into lap 17 we go, and Jay Hings is closing in that. The back end is not very stable then on quite a few cars out there. Both Racing Bulls seem to be struggling with the back end. Then here comes Jay Hings down the inside, and he's got the move then for P6 then on the fresh medium compound tyres there. Good stuff needed. You can see the difference in the grip there as well then on the fresh mediums compared to the older hards then. But of course, Farf has yet to pick them in this Grand Prix, so it is not all done and dusted just yet. Then. It hasn't all been decided just yet. So there we go. Who's that? Sam said, my spirit animal.
Ahhoz képest, hogy volt benne egy kis driftelés.
And very good stuff indeed. And come on, Chelsea, then what a fantastic result yesterday when they managed to get a win somehow. Right then, Prudish is trying to get himself back into the race lead here. Then there is a Reflection. There's McLaren on Reflection ahead of us. But Reflection is not pitted just yet then, so he's going to play a bit of a factor in this one as well then, as Reflection has burnt all the battery he can then. Heading into the final chicane, then here comes Prudish. He is not close enough. Then there's a problem. Then it's Sam. Then he's had an issue. Then going through into the first chicane. We'll come back to that then, because now Vessia is in the mix then for the race lead. Prudish is set to the fastest lap of the race. Is there rain falling now? Then that's going to be close indeed. Is there rain falling now? Then here comes Vessia, and he's going to go down the inside and turn 3. Is he? Yes, he is. And Prudish is going to try and switch back then on reflection as well. Then as we go through into turn 5, and Prudish has done it. He's up into P2, and very, very well raced indeed. Then in reflection on old tyres, and keeping that car then placed precisely enough, then as much as he could, I suppose, then on the old tyres as well. Then, but he's done a good job there indeed. Vessia now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Then Devo Crocker unfortunately has picked up a penalty there, but that wasn't Devo Crocker. That was Vessia going through the middle sector chicane. Now into the hairpin we go. Then Prudish is now reflections are in the mix. Then Lewis Riley and Kamara Racer, Farf and sorry, not Farf. Then Jay Hings is in a bit of no man's land, but he's up in P6 and looking good. Harvey has passed Jinner, I think, there as well for P8. Then Harvey on the charge now on the hard compound tyres. He's got Farf then his next target on the road, up the road, I should say. Smithy Almighty in P11, then looking to fight for P10 with Dynamo down. Then Ayrton has passed Sloth for P12. He's gone deep in the hairpin though, and that could be costly. Sloth then with his no nose has got more straight line speed without that nose, I'm sure. Into the pits comes Sam. Compounds going on for the Red Bull driver. Then here comes Sloth on the attack then, but not quite then into the final corner. Goodness me, it's kicking off out front as well. And Vessia are going to be in a bit of a fight then for the rest of this race, I would imagine. We've got Lewis Riley then, who is catching up now to reflection. Then Lewis Riley, as British has taken P1, then he's up into P1, then passing Vessia, then into the sector 2 chicane. And I didn't see that coming. Then I thought they were going to be status quo through there. Then, but no, British has gone through. He's gone for the move. He's got the move done, and he's now up into P1 once again. Then is the Mercedes driver. Then that's Haas, I think is getting out of the way. Yes, it is that. I think it might be Desert or Keiji then as well. Then, but as we go through now, then on to lap 20, as Lewis Riley has passed reflection into the same spot there as well. Then Keiji's got a penalty, unfortunately. Where is that then? That's going through the final chicane. There's a wall there, and Keiji has somehow got a penalty going through the final chicane. After being lapped then as well. Harvey has passed Farf then for P7. Into the pits comes somebody in the background. That's Jinner then, who's pulled it. Then 12 laps on the medium compound tyre. Smith, he's got a 3-second penalty. He's passed Dynamo down then, but of course, that penalty's racking up around here already. Then come on, Jay Hings, says JB. And Jay Hings is looking good indeed then as well. Then keeping it clean, as I've got a problem. We've got a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's Kiki. Goodness me. Kiki is not having a good time up there. But he is back on the way, pointing in the right direction at least. Jinner is out in P15. He's on hard compound tyres, though. I'm not sure what's gone on there for Jinner. Interesting call down for Racing Bulls. Then can he get those hard compound tyres at the end? I'm pretty sure he might be able to. Is probably not the best way to try and commentate on things like that. I'm pretty sure he might be able to sort of contradict himself, doesn't it? I thought we were going to have a pit stop there, but no, they're going into the final chicane. Then reflection, then currently P4, then but has yet to stop in this race. Prudish sets the fastest up in the race, and he's out of the 1 second range now with Vessia in the Audi. Goodness me, where are we next then? As Sloth, Real Fig and Ayrton. There's a bit of a fight going on here for P11 as we head on to the back straight. Then lap 21 then has commenced. And so far so good then. Oh, dear me, I thought that was going to be a calamity there, because I thought Real Fig was going to go flying into the back of Sloth then, but he is going to try for the move. Or is he going to try for the move then into turn 1? No, he is not actually. As we go through turn 1, then Sloth then is holding on to that P12 as it stands in. Riyadh has caught up to the fight as well. Then Jinner was soon to catch up. Then Real Kiki is in the pits for medium compound tyres. Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. Penalties then. Real Fig, Desert, Harvey, and Prudish as it stands. As Farf has been passed by his arch nemesis Smithy then as well. Then yellow flags again. Then I think that's for potentially for is it damage again for Farf? Then I'm not sure. Then as Kamara Racer has passed reflection here for P4 on track. Then, but of course we're expecting reflection into the pit lane. We're also expecting Farf into the pit lane at some point soon. that he's got some damage to that end plate. I'm pretty sure he's had that damage. So never mind. He is coming into the pit now, though, so he's going to call it a day out on those hard compound tyres. Real Fig has got himself up into P12 as far as the pit lane now, getting off those hard compound tyres. We've got more pit stop action. Who is it? Sloth is in the pits as well there after 15 or 16 laps on the hard compound tyres as well. Maybe they'll fix his nose as well then. But yes, they have fixed his nose. Magical pit stop there for Red Bull. Wow, fantastic stuff indeed. And congratulations down to Red Bull for a brilliant stop then that I don't think anybody could achieve as well if they tried it as well as Sloth's team have done just now there. He will come out in P16, but now on fresh rubber could get himself back into points play positions mix as we go through now then on to lap 22, soon to be lap 23. More yellow flags. It's for another Haas, is it? No, it's for a Cadillac. Then it's Devo Croc. Then what's happened to Devo Croc at turn 1? Not 1, it's turn 3 and 4. Trying to get himself back on then. And unfortunately, Devo Croc then, I think he's managed to keep it out of the wall, actually. But unfortunately, that spin has cost him a place then as well. Then to Hungry Styles, I think there. Potentially to Sloth as well then, I'm not sure.
Ja, küld már berendes, bazd meg. Miért szarakod?
Sloth as well there. There we go.
Mindegy, jövünk.
And Riyadh are going to be getting quite close and personal then as Farf is passing Jinnah. Oh my God, what is going on there? And it's a safety car, is it? No, it's a VSC. What is going on? Devo Croc then. Devo Croc is having a bit of an issue, it looks like. I'm really not sure what happened there. But he's back underway. It's me. That must have been one hell of a spin, but unfortunately missed it. But Devo Croc now is back underway and he's trying to get himself back. Anybody going to try and take advantage of a pit stop here? There, Hungry Styles is going to use the VSC and he's going to change that front wing as well. Then yes, it's going to be a front wing change for Styles too. Dez's into the pits as well. Then Devo Croc can hopefully get himself back into the pits. And it's a drive-through penalty for San. For speeding under the VSC, then Devo Croc's got a 10-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Unfortunately, Devo Croc is out of the race. First retirement then of the session. Then Reflection is back. He's into the pits for the first time then, but he could not get himself back into the pits under that VSC. So he's just serving a normal pit stop here. Then Reflection is back underway. And back out of the pit lane now as well. Then he will be out then, I think. So pits as well there. But that is Sam. Reflection will be out of the pit lane behind Dynamo Dan then on his fresh medium compound tyres and motoring away now. Then is the McLaren driver there. Good stuff indeed. Ayrton has still got that front wing damage then. Real Fig then in P11. Riyadh in P12. Farf is now then on his case. Then he's on to the medium compound tyres and try to get himself back in the mix here as well. Hungry Styles then in P16 is under pressure from Desert. Then both of them are just pit under the VSC, and that is why they've dropped a bit of time then as well. Then, but of course they could be able to make that back then with fresh tyres as well. Then Vess here is now back in the mix. Then with oh dear, he's picked up a penalty going through the final chicane, but he's back in the mix with Prudish. Then, of course, then we'll have a look at the penalty situation now, shall we? 6 for Vess here then. 10 seconds again then for Lewis Riley. Then I'm not sure how that's happened. More yellow flags out there then. That's a Haas, is it? No, it's a Haas then. Kiki. I don't know if Kiki's got traction control on or not then, but it's not working out for him tonight then, unfortunately. Then on his first return back then, Jay Hughes and Harvey in the pits. I wondered why Smithy was jumping up so many places. It's because Jay Hughes is into hard compound tyres. Reflection is going to take P6 and he's ahead of Dynamo Dan now then as they filter out of the pit lane. Where is Jay Hings there? He's getting behind them there. Jay Hings on a motor out of the pit lane then is going to be ahead of Ayrton and Real Fig, I think. And yes, he is. Farf then Harvey's dropping down then as Harvey had to go for a wing change there. Unfortunately, I think he has then. He's on to medium compound tyres out in P12 then. Farf has got himself past, Ayrton's got himself past Real Fig then for P9 on track. But of course, Real Fig has no penalty then. Could gain quite drastically then towards the end of the race and at the checkered flag. If it keeps it that way, then there's still 10 laps to go then. Still 10 laps to go then here in Silver. Catboy has said then, see you need to get a move on. Silver is getting a move on. Ayrton used to love the 2012 Sauber livery because it had a Chelsea badge on the front end. Yes, that was a fantastic livery, wasn't it? As Harvey and Farf are having a fight then. Harvey's just come out of the pits onto the medium compounds then, and Farf is going to have something to say about it though then, as he crosses then into the path of McLaren, then heading down the back straight then. Goodness me. And they're side by side, and they're going to go through into the chicane side by side. No, they're not fast then. I think very wise then backs out of that one. And Harvey then inherits P11. But I think he's going to get the fastest lap. No, he's not. I thought he was going fast. It's just a straight line modes around this track that's
Gyerekek, akkor ez a világnak végállomás 16-ai baszki.
Debo Croc then the first retirement then. So we've got Ayrton didn't used to like mushrooms, but then he ate. Then he eats them with Chelsea top on. Now he loves mushrooms. Then says Will Ashton. Then agreed. I think he's a Spurs fan now. So here we go. Vessia then is in contention then, but penalties then are going to be costly for Vessia then in terms of claiming the race victory there, unless Bruges has an issue somewhere. But we're going to have to wait and see then with the next 8 laps to unfold. Jay Hughes is in the 8 then as well. More problems. It's a Haas again. It's Kiki there, unfortunately. Then play to Kiki for soldiering on out here, but he is having the ride of his life. Then in the first race of his F1 26 career, Jay Higgs is up in a P7, passing Dynamo Dan then for that position. And next target then is 3 seconds up the road to Reflection then, but Reflection's on new. Oh dear, what's going on here then? Jay Higgs is setting the fastest lap of the race then. Real Fig needs to get on with it then, because he's lost out then to the Red Bull there. That Red Bull I think has been lapped, hasn't it? As the company then into first turn then. Not sure what happened there then, as Harvey then I think Harvey got past Farf, didn't he there? But no, he's dropped behind Farf now as well. Then Ayrton's up into P9. He's got Farf the company. Got Jay Higgs who is closing in. He's actually closing in on Reflection here as well. Then, and if Reflection is using those medium compound tyres to close in on the top 5, then potentially Jay Higgs and Reflection are ones to watch then towards this Grand Prix. Farf and Harvey as well wants to watch them. Harvey with no penalties in his stands is going to be looking pretty good indeed. Real Fig then is he's had a bit of an issue I think somewhere then through that final chicane, but he has still not got any penalties to his name, which is the promising thing. But Ginner then is trying to catch up here as well then and get himself into the mix then for that. Into the heavy braking zone on the hairpin then, but he's kept it going in the right direction then. He is into the bits. And when you go for the fastest lap of the race, you've got the soft compact, no, it's medium compact tyres going on. Jay Higgs has got the fastest lap of the race, then he's got a 12.114, and he is on a charge then, under 2 seconds out to Reflection. Then Farf has passed Ayrton, or has he? Oh, dearie me, then there's a squeeze, and into turn 1, then both of them, I think, have got M plates missing. Then they've got Harvey then on the attack, then on his fresh medium compound tyres. He's passed Ayrton. Ayrton struggling with that damage then to the Williams car. Then now on all the tyres, then it's going to be held then on those worn hards. Carries on then as it stands. Good stuff. And there's still points on offer then for Ayrton on his first full-time appearance of his season. That is, and of course he has debuted already in the season, but it was as a reserve capacity, and now as a full-time Williams driver, then looking to get some points on the board. Harvey has passed Farf. Then oh my God, then.
Hát elég kifogy valakinek az üzemanyag, mint annyiban már lekeresztek.
Sorry, he likes to overtake himself. He doesn't like an overtake on him, does he? But as we go into the hairpin, I think he's going to have to relinquish this because the damage there to the Ferrari. Much longer, I don't think, then if he keeps it up. Vessia has dropped out of the fight then with Prudish. Then Prudish with no penalties has been supreme then tonight. But there's going to have to be some chopping and changing, to say the least, then with the checkered flag, because of all these penalties out there as well. Then we'll have a look then as we go on to lap 29. Then we've got penalties everywhere, haven't we? Then I'm not sure where Lewis got his second 10-second penalty from, because he had a 10-second penalty in the first outing, then in the first stint, I should say. Then he served that in the pit stop, but he's got another one somewhere. So it's a bit of an odd one, that. But nonetheless, we'll see. Hungry Stars puts out a penalty, unfortunately for Stars. Then that's 12 seconds. Problem. Who's that then? Problem. It's San. Oh, dearie me. San is off the circuit. He's gone into neutral. In needs to get himself going forward, and he has done. Then Lewis Riley got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately. Then Sam then struggling as well, just trying to get himself back to the pit lane.
Hát nem tudom, tessék, valahogy nem azt nézem, hogy minden fasza lenne. A gumival úgy csúszkál, mint valami dodge-en, bazd meg. De ez everything look good, hát akkor legyen, bazd meg. Én nem úgy érzem. Valaki jön mögöttem. Az isteni. És azzal, ahogy nézem, harcba lehetünk, mert nyomnak végzászlót még. Egyelőre. Megkaptunk
Sam trying to get himself back to the pit lane.
No.
Kiki then is in the mix as well now. Then he's got himself in the tow. Then potentially can go for the fastest lap of the race. We'll wait and see then if he can do that. Jay Hings then, but Jay Hings is catching up to Reflection. Real Fig then. There's a Haas there as well. Then Real Fig and. Oh my God! Then and Jinner and Real Fig's gone back through, and Jinner's gone through. No, he hasn't gone through. Then Real Fig then is still in the fight then as well. Then and Jinner's coming back at him now. Then down into the turn 6 of second.
14-es köröket tudunk jönni.
That's that is Real Fig. Sloth as well is caught up to this fight then, but unfortunately penalties for Sloth then is going to be costing indeed, as Rhea then will be able to hold on to the final points paying position then as it stands. Pit stop for somebody there because they're coming out of the pit lane now. That is San then onto a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Can he go for the fastest lap of the race? Then we'll wait and see.
Ezzel most harcolunk, vagy nem?
I don't think he's he came out not far from where he went in. Yeah, but he was still over 6 or so seconds behind Vessier and Prudish after his first pit stop then. So I would have assumed that that's where he served he pitted earlier, didn't he, with Lewis in the first stint then? So I'm pretty sure he served a 10-second penalty. I didn't see it pop up unless he scampered off the track somewhere else then as well, then trying to avoid something or whatnot then potentially. Then we'll wait and see. Reflection and Jay Hings, this is going to get close towards the end of the race as well then, and of course if they stay within 3 seconds, more yellow flags. If they stay within 3 seconds of Smithy Almighty, they can gain that P5 position as well here then. So they're on a push charge now then, is Jay Hings in Reflection. Yellow flags, I'm not sure for who. Sloth then is after Real Fig, then Real Fig has lost out to Jenner then. He hasn't, because he's still in the boost, which is great stuff.
Azt kell, hogy mondjam, így üresbe. Kár érte, hogy elbasztuk. Vagy hát nem mi basztuk el, kilöttek.
Is looking to jump up a few positions towards the end of this race. Then lap 32 has commenced then as we scamper through then. 19 drivers remain, and here comes Riyadh. No, he doesn't. There we go then, as we head into the hairpin now then. Action on track then, because we've got Jay Hings then, who is closing in. He's been closing in for a few laps now then. On the Reflection then, he wants to get himself past Reflection. He wants to get himself in that 3-second window to Smithy Almighty then, and potentially get himself that P5 on the penalty countback as well then. Harvey and Dynamo Dan all over the back of each other then. Harvey is on the back of Dynamo Dan. That sounds a bit too...
nem olyan rossz a tempó. Ez a csávó, gondolom, előre megy, vagy hát faszolja.
Unfortunately, Styles then, he is having a horrid time out there as well. Then fair play for Styles, San, Desert and Kiki then keeping going in this race. Then Sloth then will be able to hold on to a point. Then Riyadh could be able to get himself into the mix as well then for another position or two then, as Real Fig then is starting to struggle, I think, on the hard compound tyres. Then Dynamo Dan could be under pressure for that P8 position as Reflection and Jay Hings. Jay Hings has got it, as he got himself through the final chicane as well there, as Harvey's also passed Dynamo Dan in the same spot. Then into the final chicane we go there. Right, 2.9 seconds the gap then. Smithy is going to be hoping that that gap does not come down any further, but Jay Hings is now 2.7 away, and I think he is closing in then for that P5 position. And you can see the difference in tyres there as well then. Jay Hings is using that fresher hard compound tyre to get himself into the mix then, and into the gearbox of that Mercedes ahead, and bringing Reflection with him as well. It is not all done until it's done then, as Reflection, Riyadh and Real Fig as a Haas, and that's As Real Fig and Riyadh, they have gone through then, or he has gone through then, has Riyadh then to P13. Real Fig will inherit that position back then with the penalty situation then, but I think starting to struggle on his half compound tires now, as is a few further up the order as well then. So this could be problematic for a few drivers out there then. 5 seconds, the gap then. Prudish is loving it in Montreal tonight then, and Lewis Riley is caught up to the back then of Vessia then for that P2 position, but unfortunately penalties then are going to be racking up then and going to be costly towards the end of this race. We'll wait and see how it unfolds the penalty situation as we head on to the penultimate lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. Harvey has picked up a penalty. Is that costly? Not yet, then, because Dynamo Town has got 6 seconds of penalties there as well, then, so it won't cost him at all. Some drive by Harvey then as well, then, says Mushroom. I think Mushroom cursed him there. So very sorry to Harvey then as well, then, because Mushroom said he had some drive and then he got a penalty straight afterwards. So,
yeah, I think the first one is fine.
Definitely not my commentator's curse. Couldn't be. Lewis Riley then is looking to pass the Audi of Vessia then as we head down the back straight then. P2 on track. But as we head now into the final lap then, Prudish then leads us away then onto lap 35 then. We'll come back to the race leader then because he has done a fantastic job here. But as Riyadh and Jinner now switching places then, Jinner's off the circuit. What's happened to Jinner then? Potentially on those old hard compound tyres. Dearie me. He's really struggling though, and maybe it's a slow puncture there for Jinner, and maybe it is then Real Fig doesn't want to get himself too far in the mix. Then where is Jinner gone then? He's gone scampering off then at the hairpin. He's back on now though. He needs to try and get himself to the checkered flag then, because he's going to have to wait and see if he can get himself that final points paying position then. Here comes the race leader then, the pole sitter here as well then. Prudish medal then. He's coming through into the hairpin for the final time then here in Canada there. And he is looking, very comfortable indeed. Then hopefully he can get himself to the line then. If he runs out of battery and fuel through here then, hopefully he can just coast it to the line from now. Here comes the Mercedes driver then into the final turn then. Prudish is going to cruise through the wall of champions. Thankfully not straight through it then, but across the line then to win the Canadian Grand Prix then. The Mercedes driver then has done it then. He has claimed the top spot.
Egyel maradtunk le itt a pontszerző a 15. ebbe a ligába. Hát igen. Hát ez szomorú. Ez szomorú, gyerekek. Mindegy. Ez amazing? Hát én nem mondanám azt, hogy amazing. Hát ez minden csak amazing nem volt. Hát gyerekek, ez van. Nem adta ki. Nem mondom, hogy annyira rosszak voltunk, lehetünk volna rosszabbak is. Kaptunk egy kört, ez szomorú. Az fájó, de hát... Az a kiütés, az nyilván... Milyen köröket mentek kíváncsiak? Nézd meg, amúgy... Jó, oké. Nyilván nem az első. De amúgy mondjuk... Itt ez a gyerek hasonló köröket ment, mint mi. Ja. Hát igen. Na jó van, srácok. Köszi, hogy néztetek. Jó volt veletek lenni. Aztán jók legyetek. Csumi. Sziasztok. Jók legyetek. Puci a pocóra. Ez volt a Méner forint. Ne csuba, csuba, csuba.